All right, welcome back. We are entering the third night of Hanukkah, the Jewish Festival of Lights. And across the country, Jewish families are taking part in meaningful traditions, all to celebrate a great miracle many years ago. And to tell us more about the traditions and the significance of the holiday, I'd like to welcome in Rabbi Andy Koren. He is the senior rabbi at Temple Emmanuel there in Greensboro. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing good. Hope you are. Let's get right into it. So the first question we got for you, for those who are unfamiliar with the holiday, what does Hanukkah celebrate? Tell us more.
Let's go back 2,200 years ago.
Wow.
In the ancient land of Israel, the Assyrian Greeks came into the land and they took over, and as opposed to other times that the land had been conquered and people were exiled, this time they came in and said, we're not going to conquer you but by exiling you. Instead, we're going to conquer you by having you assimilate into who we are. They went into our temple and they desecrated the temple. And I guess that the idea is that they would present such an appealing way of life that Judaism would disappear. Not the Jewish people, but Judaism would disappear. And of course, our people fought back. This is the first recorded, let's call it battle for religious freedom in our world. And this is something that we celebrate each time this year because we were overpowered by the Greeks. We were outnumbered, and yet a small band fought back and were able to retake the land and ultimately to rededicate the temple. The word Hanukkah means dedication or rededication, as in an inauguration ceremony where you rededicate something. And so that's what we celebrate each year at this time. There's a story that's told that when we get back to the temple in Jerusalem to rededicate it, there was only enough oil to last for one night. And they say that the miracle is that it lasted for 8 days. But I think that the true miracle is that we had the audacity, let's call it the hope, to light a light that day that we thought was only going to last for a short while, and that initial strike of the match is where the miracle takes place, that you could say, something, we're going to go with this and we're going to bring more light into a world that desperately needed it at that time. And the fact is that we're still celebrating that spark even until this day.
And it's interesting to see how the menorah comes into play with that, Rabbi. A lot of history with this holiday, but there's also a lot of tradition and celebration. What are some of the traditions that Jewish families are doing each night to celebrate this holiday?
Well, let's do first and foremost. I have an example of my Hanukkah or my Hanukkah menorah here right now. And so really the main ritual is that every night we light a candle. We use one candle to be our helper. I'll put that over in here. Mm-hmm. And then tonight for our third night, and I'll go ahead and I'll place it in, we will light, 3 candles. And we do this each and every night as part of Hanukkah. So tomorrow night, for example, when the sun goes down, we will light, in addition to our helper candle, we'll light 4 candles. And the tradition is to increase each and every day as we go along the amount of light we're bringing into the world. So that's one of the traditions, is the lighting of the candles. We're not supposed to use these candles for any type of benefit. Instead, just to kind of, I would say, bask in the light and to use it as a beacon to remind us of freedom. Another thing that we do, the kids do, is they play games like dreidel. This is a spinning top, and on each of the sides of this top, you have different Hebrew letters. This one over here stands for the Hebrew word nes, which means a miracle. And then this is the next letter, gimel, which stands for gadol, which means a great miracle. This one over here is for the Hebrew letter hey, is for the word in Hebrew haya, which means happened. And then this over here is sham. Now this actually is a dreidel made out of clay, just like the song. Wow. This is very impractical, a dreidel made out of clay, because every time I spin it, I'm afraid it's going to break. I also have another one here that's made out of wood, and I'll do this real quickly. This one has a different letter on it. The letter here is a p, which is, like I said, the first one I showed you, a great miracle happened there. This is for the Hebrew word po, which means here. This is an Israeli dreidel. cradle, or a sivivon, as we say in Hebrew. The interesting thing is that instead of Israelis saying a great miracle happened there, they say a great miracle happened here, because that actually is where the story took place. And just some of the other things that happen on Hanukkah, and I'll just do this real briefly, the foods that we eat. So because the miracle concerned oil, we eat a lot of oily foods. And frankly, I feel every year after Hanukkah that I got to make my way to the gym because maybe I'm putting on a couple extra pounds or something like that. But we eat food that's cooked in oil. And again, Jewish people have brought in traditions from many different parts of the world, from Northern Africa, from the Middle East, from Asia and other parts of Asia, from North America, South America, you name it, wherever Jewish people have lived, Central Europe. And so, fried potato pancakes, what we call latkes, sufganiyot, or donuts we eat during this time of the year, and I could go down the long list, which I won't. But and as much as I want to talk about some of the cultural significance, I also want to talk about what this holiday has meant for us in terms of its message and freedom. So just very quickly, this time of the year, as I light my candles, I'm thinking about ways that not only Jewish people should take pride in who we are. We are a minority group. Religiously, here in the United States, we faced anti-Semitism and had to stand up to that. And we're very grateful to all of our allies who have stood with us. But we're also a minority worldwide. And so when I zoom out, I take a look at how important it is for majority cultures and the way that we treat minorities. And in particular, here in our own backyard, in our own country, just as I light my candles, I keep thinking about rights for women and rights for immigrants and rights for voting rights. And you could go down the list, LGBTQ. Right. These are really important things that we as a society have to keep our eyes and ears open to, because just like we increase the light by lighting a new candle each and every day, increasing freedom for those who might otherwise be left behind is a real critical message that we take forward during this time of the year.
Absolutely. Rabbi, thank you so much for your time this morning. A lot of history and a lot of personal significance of this holiday to you, and a happy Hanukkah to you and everyone watching this morning as well. Thank you for your time.
Take care. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Thank you. And Hanukkah continues through Monday night. Again, all of us here at WXI 12 and then Tri-SCW wish everyone a happy Hanukkah to those who may be celebrating.